Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of News in 2 Minutes, bringing you the news that you need to know every day. Let's begin. Heavily militarized police shut down and commanded a majority of Washington, D.C. on Monday after Aaron Alexis, a military contractor who is reported to hold a secret clearance in military IDs, gunned down at least 12 civilians at a military complex. The United Nations released a report on Monday showing that investigators found undisputed evidence that surface-to-surface missiles containing the nerve gas sarin were used on a relatively large scale during an attack in Syria last month. The report continued to note that chemical weapons were used in weather conditions that maximize their potential impact, allowing the gas to stay close to the ground and penetrate into lower levels of buildings where many people were reportedly seeking shelter. The United Nations confirmed that the use of chemical weapons was a known war crime punishable by international military action, but stopped short of blaming which side in the Syrian civil war used the weapons and for what cause. In related news, military officials in Turkey announced that an F-16 intercepted a Russian-built Syrian helicopter as it crossed into Turkish airspace on Monday, where, after reported warnings to return, the helicopter was fired on and brought down by the Turkish military. The Syrian government confirmed the loss of the helicopter and called the action a disaster, saying that the willingness to fire on what could have been a mistaken direction showed Prime Minister Erdogan's want to escalate a war within the region. Health officials with the CDC, in coordination with critical units outside the U.S., have detailed a list of concerning antibiotic-resistant bacteria that they warn one day may threaten a large majority of the population. A large fire burned out of control for over 5 hours on a Russian nuclear submarine, causing widespread concern after an official with Russia's Pacific Fleet stated that there are 2 nuclear reactors on board the vessel. The official was quick to state that there was absolutely no threat of radioactive contamination. However, we're reminded of a similar event in 2011 in which officials denied the presence of nuclear missiles on board a submarine fire, a fact that was later called into question around the world. And to wrap things up, residents are being told to use mirrors and sheets to signal the need for rescue in flooded regions of Colorado. Historic storms have affected 2/3 of the entire national territory in Mexico. Strong particles from solar storms may be the cause for recent satellite failures. The United Nations is warning that both variations of the bird flu may experience a strong comeback in the coming months. Tokyo Electric is blaming Typhoon Manyi for a new release of highly radioactive water, and a 5.3 in Greece as well as a 4.9 in Indonesia, Japan, and China complete today's Quake Watch. And that's it for this episode of News in 2 Minutes. Check back tomorrow for more news that the aware need the most. This week's News in 2 Minutes is brought to you by GoBerkey.com. Remove fluoride, lead, giardia, and other viruses with a high-quality Berkey filter today. And SQmetals.com for all your precious metal needs.